welcome back to this installment of the viewer mail. I've got another pile of stuff that you guys sent, and I try to keep up on it so it doesn't get where I forget something, because I already think I have forgotten things over time, because sometimes there's a whole bunch that comes in. But anyway, let's dig in and see what we got here. Let's start with some letters. I've got some letters here, and I think I remembered something else that I need to see if I have. This is from viewer Steve in Ohio, and he says, Ross, start over. Can't read, not that smart. Ross, I did it again. I worked at Tractor Supply for 31 years. My last 20 years, I repaired the electric fence chargers. I have the parts that should fix that. Just send it to me. I wish I had known that. I didn't get the letter before I sent it to that fence fixer guy, so this time I guess he's gonna fix it. But I will keep you in mind if that happens again. Also, I have some white planter parts that you can have. One item is a PTO alternator for those 5400 planters. I'll fix it for free. 5400 alternator. I need to get a hold of you, viewer Steve, because I have been looking for one of those. I think that would be cool to have. I had a lead on a couple of them, and then people said, oh, we scrapped them because we didn't think anybody'd want them. But if you don't know, those 5400 plant air planters, if you look at the white planter numbering system, the 543 plate planter like we just got from those people, that was your option. They made it green and then later red. Then when they went to the air planters, they started with the 5400 plant air. Why they went 5400, I don't know. I guess it's because the other one was the 543, so then they just made it 5400. And those planters had individual blowers on each unit to get the air pressure to make the seed meter go. The problem was a lot of the tractors didn't have an electrical system that could handle the draw of 6 or 8 or whatever planter you had, the amount of electric blowers running the whole time you were planting. So they made an option that you could have this PTO driven alternator to keep the voltage up. And so I've seen pictures of it. I've never seen one in person, and I was hoping to find one because I've got that 6-row plant air. So if we can, I will have to call viewer Steve and see if we can make that happen, because I think that would be cool if we could get that planter going and potentially plant some corn with that, you know. So that's in the works. The 5400 plant air we need to get going, and then the 6100 that I've got, that one I would like to get going so I could use it and plant 6-row corn on 30 inches, but we shall see how that pans out. So viewer Steve, I will get a hold of you at some point. Next, we have a Christmas card. I read all these ahead of time, but I am so woefully slow about getting videos made that it takes me a while. So Christmas is over, but it says, hello Ross, we wanted to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. My boyfriend moved from Tennessee to Kentucky a year ago. Now every night I have to listen to your videos. He truly enjoys all of them. You do a great job. He hopes to have a huge tractor collection one day. He has several toy tractors right now. We would love to meet you sometime if you come to Kentucky. All right, sorry, the camera, I looked up and I saw everything was going crazy, so. We would love to meet you sometime if you ever come to Kentucky or go to the Farm Machinery Show in Louisville. We hope 2025 is more better. A very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. P.S. Give Buddy the dog a pat on the head for Tyler. Your friends, Tyler and Ashley. If you give Tyler a shout out, if you can, give Tyler a shout out in the video. So Tyler, this is your shout out from me and Buddy the dog. Even though Buddy the dog is not sitting here next to me, he wishes you well. So thank you guys for that. Perhaps I will meet you someday. And when that happens, make sure you remind me that you sent me this, because I'm not good with names and I'll probably forget what everybody's name is. I know that's always I hate that about myself, because people come up to me and do things and they say, don't you remember this? And it's like, well, I can't remember yesterday, so I don't know. I don't mean it in a rude way. I just, it's hard to remember everybody's names, so yeah. But thank you very much for sending that. I'm glad you enjoyed the videos, and hopefully someday you will have a large tractor collection. But start with the toys. Everybody's got to start somewhere, so good luck to you. All right. What's next? Well, lots of stuff. This is from, actually, a different land. And I didn't realize it when I had opened it up first, and then I started reading it and I thought, hey, this comes from England. So let me see where the note is. Yeah, it's on the, okay. It says, hi Ross, I came across this old sales brochure for the Fiat 640 tractor the other day. It's like the 640 we had in the early 1980s. As you have a collection of Fiat built tractors, I thought you might like to have it. At that time, I understand that the Fiat 450, 540, 640, 750, 1000, and 1300 tractors came to England without rear fenders. They were fitted with English-built Lamborn safety cabs with the built-in rollover protective thing, which incorporated flat-top fenders. The 640 we had was just like the tractor on the front of the brochure. It was fitted with quick attach, drive-in front loader. It was a very handy, reliable tractor. We traded it for a Ford 4610 in 1987, which I still have to this day. The Fiat was pretty much worn out. I'm a fairly new subscriber to your channel and enjoy every video you make. It's always good. I should have took it out of the package because there's some on the back side. It's always good to see what you're up to on the other side of the world. I enjoy your commentary, humor, and words. Thanks for sharing your videos with us. Have a great Christmas and the very best for the new year and beyond. Best wishes, Peter from Northwest England. Thank you, Peter. That is cool. I do think it's neat that people all over the world can connect over tractors, and it's all because of some moron like me putting himself on the internet. But this is cool. This is a little brochure of the 640 Fiat, which would be comparable like to this 1365, I believe is what we decided. And I'm pretty sure that's right. Yeah, 4-cylinder engine. So this, and there is some kind of, I can't remember off the top of my head, but like the early 1365s were one model number and then the later ones were different. And I was thinking the 640 was the early one. But at any rate, pretty cool. And like he said, they shipped them, which I did not know, but over to England apparently without fenders, and then they put on these cabs. Hopefully you can see that. Literature is hard to film because it's so shiny that light reflects off of it and everything. So that is pretty cool. Thank you, Peter, for taking the time to send that, and also for your kind words. And hopefully I can keep making stuff that people everywhere will want to watch. So thanks again. That's neat. And I will add that to my literature collection. Hopefully I can I'll just lay everything down for now. And where are we? This is a package from viewer Ken, and he comes from Indiana. And I gotta remember there's a bunch of stuff in here, so let's pull it all out of there. All right, this is from viewer Ken, and he says, Ross and Buddy the dog, Happy New Year from Posey County, Indiana. Thought you might enjoy these old calendar pictures. Hope all is well, Ken. And then he put a post-it note that says together again, and I guess he was watching the video where I put that 200 Alice Chalmers together. Oh, I see why. Because underneath his note is a picture of a 200 Alice Chalmers. Pretty snazzy. This is from, that's actually the factory Alice Chalmers style cab, different than the year-round cabs and stuff. And then these are pictures all from this Heritage Iron calendar, and it's they do a good job with, they take very artistic pictures. I mean, they're very well done. Here's a Jetstar 3 Moline and a G1000, I believe. And we got a 7060 and a G706. Very nice. This is a cool picture. We've got a G550, a G850, and a G940, which are all Oliver built Molines. And if you don't know the story there, the 1855, which there's one on the back, instead of getting labeled a G950, they labeled it a G940 because Moline already had a G950. And so to avoid confusion, they made the Oliver built one the G940, and that's really an 1855 painted yellow. And a G900. And here's a tractor. I think this tractor might have been in Moline Dan's video the other day. This is a 475 repower tractor. They put a big Detroit V8 in there. So that's pretty neat. We've got, what else? We've got this 1870 white, which is another Moline built tractor, painted different. I always thought those were kind of cool looking. I'd like to find a green one, you know. Then we have a 2155, which basically is a tractor that has a the back end is the same as like my 9650, more or less. I mean, same type of drivetrain that they used for a long time after. 2150 cockshut and a 1550 cockshut. That's pretty sweet. Here's a 3496 Moline combine, and I'm not good with the numbers to know, is that the same as the 535? I think a 3496. I'm not exactly sure, but they're all cockshut built combines, and they made them for Oliver in Moline. Here is a G1350 at Heritage, the red, white, and blue propane. I think the Heritage tractors are neat no matter what you got there. Again, it probably would be a little better if I took them out of this plastic, but it's just my experience that filming literature, it's going to be glossy. Here's a Plainsman AT1600, and that's also in Heritage paint. This is a neat picture of F600 Ford and an Oliver 7800. I mean, that's a scene you would have saw back in the 70s. There you go. Everybody had a red F600. 1950T front wheel assist. Pretty sweet tractor there. 2255 front wheel assist. Very nice tractor. And 1955 with duals. I think they look pretty sweet when you got them dualed up and full rack up front. Very nice. 2050 front wheel assist. Some of these tractors I've seen, some of these tractors I think I've seen in person at shows. 1555. That's one that keeps evading me, but hopefully I will find one at some point. There's one more here, but I'm losing them all here. There we go. This one he put a post-it note on it, said one for Cuz and Monkey, and it's a white combine shelling corn. So his combine that he just got from Ohio, it would look that nice if you waxed it up. I mean, that combine, even though the clutch plates broke, you could tell it was a very nice combine taken care of. So if you took time to shine up on it, it would really look nice. Thank you, viewer Ken. I do enjoy that stuff. I might have to work that up on some kind of board or something where I can have it in the background on one of these viewer mail videos, all those pictures. So I'll see what I can do about that. Next, I am both excited and scared at this. I'm eager to try this, but also I'm a little afraid because I might not be able to take it. It says, Ross, I enjoy your videos on YouTube, or your show on YouTube. I want to show appreciation with some Cajun seasoning. And true Cajun, he put in parentheses. Used to your taste for flavor. Hope you enjoy. Great to see classic farm equipment in the field and not in the junkyard. Respectfully, viewer Daryl. And he comes from Louisiana. And he sent me a box full of all kinds of stuff. We have Louisiana dipping sauce, that dip. And I bet that is... It's also good for fried foods, po' boys, burgers, and what else a Cajun can squirt it on. So I bet that's delicious. We're definitely going to give it a try. St. Amand's fish fry for real Cajun flavor. Dip fish in water, milk, and egg bath. Roll fish in the fish fry. Place carefully in hot oil and fry until done. Approximately 2 to 3 minutes for fillets. 3 to 5 minutes for thicker pieces. So I'm gonna have to get me some fish from the locker there and try that out. All-purpose Le Beef's deli seasoning. I might not be pronouncing any of this right, but Cajun Power sweet treat, cinnamon sugar with pure vanilla. And we have Cajun Power garlic sauce. What else? I guess I knocked some stuff in the box. Yeah, I knocked a roll of tape in the box here. He must have a gun store because he's got a business card in here. Outdoor Connection for all your firearm needs, repairs, sales, ammo. And we have a few more things here. This one is jalapeno pepper jelly. Your sweetheart called and said, bring home 2 jars of this jelly, one for you and one for me. So we'll give that a shot. And then we have family-owned community coffee, American classic, smooth roast with a well-rounded flavor, medium roast. So there we go. A whole box full of Cajun spices and things. And I do like my spicy food. That's why I like the Mexican food and things, because it's got a little bit of a bite to it, you know. So I'm excited to try some of this stuff. It might bring me to tears, but it'll be interesting to see, you know, how I can handle it. So thank you, viewer Daryl. That's pretty cool. And all right, so as I was saying, I got so excited that time I accidentally knocked the battery out of the camera, so that one was my fault. But thank you, viewer Daryl. That's going to be fun to try. I've been waiting to make this video so that I could use that stuff, so we're going to give that a shot sometime. Thank you. Now I have a box here from, I believe, there's the note. There's the note. It is from viewer Ken, I believe is his name. It says, Ross and Buddy the dog, Merry Christmas to all. I found these old manuals in my father-in-law's shop. He was a parts manager for International Truck Division in Evansville, Indiana, till they closed up. I thought that you would like the 3208 cat manual for your whites. The rest are just old International Truck manuals and a Lawn Boy shop manual. I know you are into preserving equipment. You might know someone who would like the old truck manuals, or just add them to your collection. Take care, Ken. P.S. Enclosed is the latest copy of Heritage Iron. I thought you would enjoy the article on the 1855 problem child. Say hey to Cuz and Monkey. So, yeah, okay, so the seasoned person watching this will realize that viewer Ken is the same one that sent those calendar pages a little bit ago, earlier in the video. And at any rate, let's see here. So he sent this latest article of Heritage Iron, and looking at this, it's making me want to subscribe more and more. I think I subscribed to it once and then I kind of let that go. But it's got all kinds of tractors. There's Tony Reed and his 4010. And I don't know, it's just, I like all brands of tractors, and it's nice to see that, and they usually have some pretty nice examples in here. Here's the article he's talking about. They went through and I read it yesterday. They talk about the problem child of every brand, all the different brands, and of course the 1855 made the cut because of the rod through the block situation, which would happen. But that's a pretty good magazine if you're not interested in any one particular brand and you want to see them all. So yeah, subscribe if that interests you. Then we have in our box a bunch of books. This one is Radio Questions and Answers from the Radiocraft Library, and it explains all kinds of electronic and diagrams and things, which I think this is probably very interesting. I just need to sit down and try to take it all in. So that's pretty neat. There's another book on radio electronic circuits. And like I said, another thing that I think would be very fascinating if I just sit down and read it. Solid state projects from Motorola. And there's all kinds of things in here that you could build, I suppose, or yeah, pretty neat. Then we have, he was talking about truck manuals. Here's a parts catalog for model C35, C35B, C40 international trucks. There's a picture of it on the inside. So, old trucks. And here is an instruction book, or the operator's book, model C50 with hydraulic brakes. That's pretty cool. Lawn Boy Mechanic's Handbook. That was a thing around here at one time. Lawn Boy mowers. We had one. Grandma liked her Lawn Boy push mower. And then we have the 3208 factory service manual, and I do think that will be very useful. We might end up having to need it to figure out why that 4150 white doesn't want to run, because it doesn't seem to want to run, and I don't know what its deal is, unless it's finally that the injection pump stuck or something. Here we go. Difficulty starting. Crankshaft turns. It doesn't say. Yeah. So low battery voltage, bad cable or connection, oil too thick, bad starter motor, extra outside loads, mechanical problems inside engine. It ain't any of those. It's just, it won't run. So, but anyway, this is neat. It shows you pretty well everything and how to tear her down. So anyway, this definitely will be very useful. I'm just looking. You caught my attention. All the it's like it's got a list of all the dealers or whatever repair places in the back of the book. That's pretty cool. I don't know. I definitely will use this, so that's pretty cool. Thank you again, viewer Ken. You sent me 2 things this time, and that's pretty sweet. So thank you a bunch. I hope you enjoy the videos. I'm always glad if, you know, people are getting something out of it, so thank you. Alright, I got a couple more things that I've had for a while, and I can't remember if I ever mentioned them in a video or not, so I'm going to mention them now. And if I've already done this, I guess you're getting it twice. But this I found in my mailbox one day with the little note. This is from a friend of mine. He lives just a mile or so away. He says, Ross, this is a good article about the 4150 that you might find interesting. Please keep the magazine. I don't need it returned. And it's from viewer Keith. It's a copy of Antique Power magazine. It's a pretty interesting magazine, but it has an article in here on the 4150 and its design. And I read it. I'm going to have to read it again to fully comprehend everything. But it's talking about Gary Bohall and his role in designing it. And what I thought was neat about it is there's some pictures in here that I have not seen before. And so that's pretty interesting. And of course it goes all into the whole shebang about it. And then I think that's his restored tractor at the end, this Gary Bohall. They found a 4150 in Minnesota in 2012. They bought it whose father was from a guy whose father was the second owner. And over 2.5 years they did all the restoration except the painting, which was done by local body shop. And they put in a new cab interior. And anyway, it's pretty cool. Gary Bohall, I guess, worked for White Farm Equipment and worked in association with expert designers Mark Sickman and Larry Shinoda. Which, if you don't know, Larry Shinoda was the guy who came from Ford, and he was responsible for the design with the silver and stripe styling, and then giving it the name Field Boss, all the tractors, because he was also the guy that had the Boss Mustang. But there's a picture of them with the tractor. Yeah, so I've never seen that picture with a person. You know, I've seen the picture of that prototype tractor, but, and I was thinking that somebody out there thought they had found that tractor. And I don't know where I read that or came up with that, but somebody had a 4150 and there were things on it, and they thought that underneath it could have been that tractor that got regular sheet metal put on it later on. But this is a pretty interesting magazine as well, if you are interested in antique tractors or whatever. They focus more on, I guess, all vintages of tractors, you know, all the way back from early on till this is white 4150s in the 70s. So yeah, another good one to subscribe to. So thank you, Keith, I appreciate that. And then I have this, which I thought that I had in a video, but I might have dreamt that. I might have looked at it and then I set it aside to put in a video, and then never did that. If you see me keep reaching around, I'm trying to keep the camera lit up so I can see the screen facing me. But anyway, this is from viewer Mike from Wisconsin. He says, went to the Edgar Steam Show again this year. I thought you would enjoy another wood shingle. And yes, I like wood shingles. So they cut that on a shingle mill at the show and they burned their name into it, and that's pretty cool. I've got a whole collection of wood shingles actually behind me on the shelf. I think that's where I put the other one that he sent. So that's pretty neat. North Central Wisconsin Antique Steam and Gas Engine Club Show 2024. So that's pretty cool when you see these things at shows, and you know, you realize that this used to be on your house. Every shingle was individual and it was made of wood, and you just layered them up, and finally they rotted away and you'd have to replace them. But you know, I don't know if people can see that on the camera or not, but it is tapered, you know, thicker on one end and thinner on the other end. And it's kind of, that's why it's kind of frazzled here, because it's pretty thin. But it's a shingle, that's the way it's made, so you can stack them, you know, so on and so forth. So thank you very much, viewer Mike. I did not forget about your shingle. It's been sitting in a kitchen chair in the corner of the kitchen since you sent it, and I thought I need to put this in a video, and I think I forgot to do that. So thank you. As always, friends, I don't expect anything, but I am always very appreciative when you do send stuff. I think that's neat that people take time out of their day to send me something, because who am I? Just a moron on the internet. Nothing special. But I do appreciate the stuff, and I do put it to use and whatever. I try to do some of that in a video, but sometimes that doesn't always work out. But I do use the stuff you send. And so thank you again. I don't know if it ever comes across enough on camera that I really am thankful, but I'm glad that people are getting something out of the videos and people are enjoying it and people aren't taking life too seriously, because I mean, a lot of what I do is joking or for entertainment, so don't get uptight and offended when something doesn't go your way. I mean, it's fine. But I do appreciate you who take the time to watch and people comment. There's a fairly sizable group of regular people who comment on every video, and that's nice, you know. So I'm glad you're enjoying it. I try to do a video every day. Sometimes that's very difficult, especially if something in my life goes crazy and I can't have time to do it all. But I'm trying to come up with things to keep that going every day. In the winter time, it's more difficult than in the summer, but I'm plugging away at it a week at a time. So anyway, as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.